Now you're probably seeing the chicken sitting in front of a road and maybe thought, why isn't that chicken crossing the road? And that's because we took his legs. The first few steps on deboning a chicken leg are the most important steps. Number one, making sure your hands are properly washed. I just washed my hands just now, so yeah. But make sure your hands are properly washed so you can handle with the food. Your second step is make sure you have sharp knives. Always always be careful with them, as even the smallest accidents could cause deep cuts. So we'll make sure our knives are properly sharpened with our sharpening tool. Just don't really need to do that much with your knives. And make sure they're properly sharp, not by testing on yourself obviously, but by testing it on, for example, something you're cutting with. Never never point, for example, this. Never point the blade towards yourself, and of course don't slide it. Don't slide it because you're gonna cut yourself. Anyways, starting with knowing where you're gonna cut. Now, okay, so the first step is finding out the parts of your chicken. Obviously, this thing is pretty easy. You have your meat side, the one that where the skin would be most of the times, and when you flip it over, it's a more exposed side, the one that has the bone exposed to it. You could actually see it like poking out mostly, and this is where we're gonna be making our cuts, around this area right here. So I can't really get a clear view of the cutting board and myself, so I'm very sorry for this. But anyways, so first and foremost, you want to make sure your hands are properly washed. So we're gonna go do that right now. Once your hands are nice and clean, you want to make sure your knives are properly sharpened, and the you could use the sharpening tool to sharpen your knives. Just and next, of course, you need your chicken breast, right? The breast you're gonna debone. Anyways, figuring out how to debone it, you wanna get this side, the side where the bone is least visible. It's normally like the part with where the meat is only visible, really. You wanna get it and face it down on the cutting board. So you'd have this side right here. You can see the bone more exposed and kind of bulging out a bit. But you want to lay it down on that side, making sure the bone is popping out. With your long knife, you want to hold it like this, like so, like how you would hold a normal knife, but instead of putting your finger like right here over the edge of the knife, so you can get more control on it. Now you want to press firmly against the bone, where the bone is at, where the bone is poking out. You want to start cutting alongside it. And trying to expose the bone as much as possible, really, without actually cutting into the bone. You want to slide your knife around it. So when you cut it, you want it to kind of look like this, kind of have like most of it exposed, but not completely. So you can start cutting around the thing. You want to cut around the more bigger parts of the bone first. Really, you could turn it around if you want, and you want to keep making slight cuts around it. You want to keep your knife kind of like pressed against the bone, right here, without actually cutting into the bone, as you could probably lead to the bone some of the bone staying alongside it. You want to cut around this part first, making sure, always keeping your knife firmly pressed along the bone, so you waste as little as much meat as possible. Once you got this part separated, right here, right, it would look like this. Like when you fold the beef back all the way, you're gonna grab your smaller knife and like basically just scrape off or cut off like any of the excess bone meat that's left on it. You want to cut like so, making sure not to leave any chicken onto the bone, stuck onto the bone. You want to keep sliding your knife. You could keep turning it around as you see me doing. And you want to keep cutting alongside with your little knife. The longer knife could be used, but it's kind of harder at this point to do it. Anyways, you keep cutting until you get to the more bigger part of it. That's where you flip it again, or fold it inside out, I guess, like so, right? You get this, right? You want to make small slight incisions or cuts onto it. Once you're done, you'll have the bone completely out, right? So now, flip your chicken over. You can feel around it, right? Kind of massage it, basically. And feel around for any bone pieces that may be left behind. There will be. There's no shame in that. There will be right here, for example. This side right here. I don't think you can see that because of the light, but it's kind of bad lighting in here. Right here, this piece stayed on, so you want to cut that off. Make sure not to cut your fingers. It has happened to me before. And you want to keep cutting alongside it. Try not to waste, as I said before, try not to waste as much meat as possible. But when you got that out, it'd be this little joint, I'm pretty sure. And once you got that, you want to keep looking around, making sure no bone pieces are stuck onto it. Then you're done. That's how you debone chicken breast. And I hope that chicken crossed the road, like I've said before. I hope he crossed it safely. I was gonna make another joke if I had the chicken legs. I was gonna make a joke on like, oh, I hope the chicken found a way across the road without its legs. Like maybe it flew over. But you know, I didn't actually have the chicken legs with me. I didn't know I didn't have them. So yeah. So there you have it. Next time you want to cook boneless chicken, but you don't have any bits of boneless chicken, you could just debone the chicken breast as I showed you with my tutorial.